So let's start with the commercial banks here. And in commercial banks, as we have seen that in this chapter, money and banking, we have studied about the concepts, functions of money, and just after that we'll be studying now about commercial banks. Now, what are commercial banks? Let's see the definition of this. Commercial bank is a financial institution which performs the functions of accepting deposits from the public and advancing loans to the public with the aim of making profits. So these notes I have already sent to you. In this you will see that commercial banks are those type of financial institutions which must perform two functions: accepting the deposits from the public and to give out loans. Any particular financial institution which is not performing both these two functions will not be called as a bank. Like that of, if I'll give you an example, for example, this UTI, Unit Trust of India, plus Life Insurance Corporation, LIC, and these type of financial institutions are those which does not make a financial institution as a bank. We cannot call it as a bank. Reason is because these do not accept the deposits. They perform only one functions, that is the another one, to give out loans. On the other hand, the second type of institution financial we can see here, these are the post offices. Post offices are also performing only one particular function, and that is of accepting the deposits from the public. They do not give out loans. So when these type of two functions, out of two functions only one function is performed, then a financial institution will not be called as a bank. And therefore a commercial bank is that which perform both these two functions, right? Let's read it out more. That is why these institutions are called commercial banks. These charge a high rate of interest on loans and give lesser rate of interest on deposits. So these commercial banks are actually the business firms only, which are doing business with the public. They take their money from them and also give interest on their money deposited by the public in their banks. But this rate of interest which is to be given to an account holder, this is lesser as compared to the interest rate charged from a borrower. Like for example, say a particular person is going to deposit 1000 rupees, and this 1000 rupees when the bank takes or take the deposit of this account holder, then bank is going to give him 4%, say for example, rate of interest, because this bank is using the money or the asset of that account holder, 1000 rupees. But the same amount of money which is to be deposited in the bank is now going to be given to the other person as a loan. But when the bank is going to give loan to other person, the banks are going to charge higher rate of interest from the borrower. If say for example 10% rate of interest this particular person is going to charge, this bank is going to charge from the borrower. So 10% they have charged from the borrower, 4% they have given to the account holder, 6% is the remaining balance. So this 6% is the earning of the commercial bank. So therefore we say that commercial banks are business firms only. After this, the difference between the two rates of interest is the amount of profit of commercial banks. So we can see that there are different commercial banks in India, like that of State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, ICICI Bank, Bank of Baroda, all these. These are all commercial banks. There are different functions also of commercial banks, but um, these functions of commercial banks are not going to be coming in your board exams because it is it is a deleted part in your syllabus. तो ये deleted है functions of commercial banks. So I will tell you only some detailed मतलब brief information about these commercial banks. In the commercial banks, the different type of functions which it performs are like accepting the deposits function. In the accepting of deposits, a person can open a current account in the bank, savings account, or fixed account deposit. If you will see, in all these three there is one difference, or there are several differences. Like for example, in the current account is a particular type of account which is to be opened by a business class person. Okay, this is the particular type of business account directly we can say. On this particular type of account, no rate of interest is given to the account holder because the business class person can deposit any amount on one day. The next day he is going to withdraw a lot of money from his own account. So there is no very much benefit for the bank from this account. But on the other hand, there is also another account like savings bank account. This type of account is to be opened up by households and firms. Okay, and these are mainly opened up by some service class people. And there are some also restrictions on the withdrawal of the money from this account, savings bank account. There are some restrictions that not more than a particular limit of amount of money can be withdrawn. So there are some restrictions. On the other hand, there is a fixed deposit account where a person can fix the amount of money in the bank account, and after the maturity of the time period, like for 4 years you fix your amount, say 10,000 rupees for 4 years. After 4 years only this amount will be matured, and a bank is going to give a very good rate of interest on fixed account deposits. And with interest after the maturity date, the account holder can take out his or withdraw the money from the fixed deposit. Then there are also advancing of loans functions of the commercial banks, as there are some different type of loans to be given to the public by the commercial banks, like that of cash credit, demand credit, short term loans. These are all the different type of loans which can be given to the public. And in cash credit type of advancing of loan, there is a credit limit, and the user may borrow the money from the bank on giving some security. This is the type of cash credit, a loan, advancing of loans. Then there are also some type of demand credits. This loan can be recalled on demand by the bank at any time. Okay, anytime this type of loan can be recalled. These type of loans are taken mainly by security brokers, okay, whose credit needs used to fluctuate, and this is the type of demand credit loan. On the other hand, there are also some short term loans. These are called as personal loans, and in this the loan is given to priority sectors, like for household or firms, okay, to set up these type of assets. These loans are given, and this is a type of short term loans. And there are also some other functions, but we will not be doing with these. We're not going to carry out with these functions because the functions of commercial banks are not to be coming in your syllabus. It is a deleted point. So, but from these some important functions you have come to know. what are the different functions of commercial banks. But one more important function is going to come. It is in your syllabus, and that is credit creation function of commercial banks. This credit creation function of commercial bank is going to come in your syllabus. So let's see what is this credit creation of the function of the commercial banks. This credit creation is actually called as the money multiplier process. The commercial banks, by giving loans, can multiply their deposits. They can create more deposits. But how can this be done? When they are giving out loans, then how they can create more deposits? So how can this be done? So this procedure we will be studying in the same credit creation function of commercial bank. So let's start reading it out about the credit creation function. Let's read from here. We learned that the currency with public and demand deposits with banks are components of money supply. So demand deposits which are with the banks are included in the money supply only, and the money held with the public also is all coming in the money supply. Thus, just previous topic we have studied. So currency creation, which is also called as high powered money. As I told you, high powered money is that money which is including all the currency coins, currency notes, demand deposits and other type of deposits which are of the government and commercial banks with RBI. This is all high powered money. So currency creation, this is what is called as currency creation, is done by the central bank of a country actually. Currency creation. And demand deposits are actually created by commercial banks. So here you can see that currency creation is the function of the Reserve Bank of India. On the other hand, but commercial banks are going to create the demand deposits. You all know about demand deposits. These are the deposits by the account holders, whatever amount they are going to deposit in the bank. On their demand, they can withdraw it at any time, according to their need. And let us understand how do these commercial banks create money. I am going to just read from that same note that I have sent to you. Okay, you can see in that note also. So let us understand how do commercial banks create money. किस तरीके से commercial banks money को create करते हैं, right? Let's see. So first point. In the first point, amount of initial fresh deposit is called as primary deposit. Commercial banks जो हैं, हम क्या कर रहे हैं that there are many commercial banks, but for our study to become more easier, we are going to combine all these banks in one, right? Just to make it easier. So let's see. The fresh deposit which is coming into the bank is called as the primary deposit. As you can see here in the first round, I have drawn this table. These are the rounds of transactions, deposits, LRR, legal reserve ratio, and loans. These are the 4 columns. So where is the primary deposit here? Primary deposits are the deposits which are the fresh deposits, okay, which is coming to the bank. So a person who is going to deposit 1,000 rupees, this is the fresh deposit coming to the bank. So this is called as the primary deposit. Okay. So here in our example, 1,000 rupees is the primary deposit coming to the bank. The deposits of households and firms held by a bank are called primary deposits. So whatever firms and households are depositing their money, fresh money, that is called as the primary deposit. And this legal reserve ratio, what is this LRR? Legal reserve ratio means it is the fraction of deposits of commercial banks which is legally compulsory for the commercial banks to keep in the form of cash. अब देखिए ध्यान से. There is a reserve which every commercial bank has to maintain. Right? Every bank has to maintain a cash reserves with them. And this reserve is actually called as legal reserve ratio, which is divided into two components. There are two components of legal reserve ratio. One is CRR, cash reserve ratio. Another one is SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. These are two different type of components of legal reserve ratio. We have taken here 20% of the legal reserve ratio. So in legal reserve ratio, every commercial bank has to keep a reserve. They have to maintain a reserve in cash. Now, if we talk about the cash reserve ratio, CRR, this is the reserve which is to be maintained by every commercial bank with RBI or in cash with RBI, Reserve Bank of India. This reserve ratio can fluctuate also, because Reserve Bank of India is going to fix this CRR. As in the economy, the money supply can increase or decrease only from these commercial banks. When the money flows out from the commercial banks, the money supply in the economy increases. When the money is going to flow lesser in amount through borrowings into the economy, then money supply is going to be lesser in the economy. So directly saying, commercial banks are the sources from where the money flows into the economy, and the money supply is based, increase or decreases on the basis of the flow of money from the commercial banks only. So one very important thing is there, that two type of fluctuations in the economy can be seen, like inflation or deflation. Reserve Bank of India is the bank of government only. Reserve Bank of India is responsible to control this inflation or deflation in the economy. Inflation here means rising prices of all the goods and services, which is very harmful. It creates a gap between the society, between the rich and the poor people. On the other hand, deflation is the lowering down of the prices of goods and services. This is also a problem. Great Depression in 1929 in North America, it came because of came in America because of this depression problem. The prices of the goods and services went down, and because of the lowering of the prices of goods and services, the business firms or the producers got a big loss, and they reduced their production. And unemployment increased when they reduced their production. This all created a situation for Great Depression. So deflation is also a big problem, and inflation is also a big problem. Government is responsible to maintain this money supply, and it is doing it through Reserve Bank of India. So Reserve Bank of India controls this maintenance of reserves. Okay, so if more money supply is there in the economy, then reserve banks can do what? Reserve Bank of India can do what? Central Bank of India can do what? It can increase the CRR, cash reserve ratio. If it increases this cash reserve ratio, then automatically what will happen? Now more money will be kept with the Reserve Bank of India of commercial banks. In this manner, the commercial banks will be having lesser amount of money to create credit, and it will make the commercial banks to flow lesser amount of money in the economy. This will control the inflation. This is how is the instrument used by the Reserve Bank of India. Similarly, SLR, statutory liquidity ratio. This is also a particular reserve that has to be maintained by the commercial banks. This percentage of reserve also is to be fixed by the Reserve Bank of India. In this, what happens that the vault cash is maintained in as a reserve with the commercial banks, as fixed by the Reserve Bank of India. Say for example 13%, then 13% of the reserve in vault cash, some part they can the commercial banks can maintain, and some part they can maintain in the form of unencumbered government securities. They can invest in that. Okay, so this is how the liquidity will be maintained of cash reserves, right? Now, this is what is LRR. The two components are coming in the legal reserve ratio, CRR, SLR. We have taken here total of both as 20%. So, in the first round, if 20% legal reserve ratio has to be maintained, then 1000 rupees is the primary deposit. And out of this 1000 rupees, 200 rupees has to be kept in reserve by the commercial banks. Now, 800 rupees is left with them to give for loan. Okay, so this 800 rupees is the amount left with the commercial banks which they can give for loans. What the commercial banks are doing here, whenever they are going to give loan, they ask the borrower to open an account in their own bank. अपने ही बैंक में वो एक अकाउंट को ओपन करवाते हैं. तो ऑटोमेटिकली होगा क्या? When the bank is going to give loan, then automatically that loan amount will move into the bank itself. Are you all understanding? How do the banks create more and more or multiply deposits? How it increases its total money creation? And if you'll see in the second round what happens, 800 rupees now the bank is going to give to another person, B. So this loan was given to A person. This A person is going to take loan of 800 rupees. And this is the derivative deposit because the bank has derived this deposit by giving out loan. तो ये derivative deposit होगा. इसमें से भी 20% will go for a cash reserve. Reserve में जाएगा 160 rupees and 640 will be left out with the bank to give for loan. Then the bank will give in the third round to B person. B person is going to take loan of 640 rupees. It will come here. This is also a derivative deposit derived by the commercial bank. Then again 20% will be saved, will be kept as a reserve, 128 rupees, and the bank is left out with 512 rupees to give for loan to C person. So in this manner, one by one, step by step, you can see in the deposit column, the deposits are continuously increasing and increasing. 1000 plus 800, 1800, 1800 plus 640, ऐसे करके डिपॉजिट्स एड अप होता जा रहा है. ये तब तक चलता रहेगा टिल द लास्ट अमाउंट ऑफ मनी इज लेफ्ट. तो यहां पर देखिए आप लोन्स भी कैसे कम होते जा रहे हैं, 800, 640, 512. तो ऐसे करके ये कम होता जाता है, डिक्लाइन होता जाता है. There is a formula also to find out that how this 5000 will come. How the bank from 1000 primary deposit is going to create 5000 rupees. For this we are having one formula which is called to be as total money creation by the banks. So if I will show you here only total money creation by the banks, तो इसमें देखते हैं हम किस तरीके से ये फॉर्मूले को लिखा जाता है. So let's write the formula of this. So here if you will see how we can calculate the total money creation by the commercial banks. You can see here 5000 rupees, how is it coming? So the formula is primary deposit PD multiplied by 1 upon LRR. LRR legal reserve ratio is 20%. So it will be equal to primary deposit 1000 rupees as you have seen here in the column, multiply by 1 upon 20%. 20% here means the legal reserve ratio. So you can convert it by dividing 20 upon 1000. 20% will be equal to 20 upon 100. और जब आप इसको डिवाइड करेंगे 20% को तो 5 आ जाएगा आंसर, जिसको हम बोलते हैं मल्टीप्लायर. मल्टीप्लायर मीन्स जो भी प्राइमरी डिपॉजिट है उससे 5 टाइम्स ज़्यादा. आप इसको डिवाइड करिए 1 अपॉन 20% को तो 5 आएगा. तो 5 टाइम्स से प्राइमरी डिपॉजिट बढ़ जाएगा. दैट विल बी इक्वल टू 1000 इंटू 5 इज इक्वल टू 5000 रुपीज. दिस इज हाउ वी गेट द टोटल मनी क्रिएशन बाय द कमर्शियल बैंक्स. तो आप देख सकते हैं 1000 रुपीज से उन्होंने 5000 रुपीज का मनी क्रिएशन कर लिया. So this is how, this is the credit creation function of the commercial banks that they can create. And with this you can see here if it is coming here 1000 rupees. So how can you calculate this 1000, how can you get this 1000 rupees? ये 1000 rupees आएगा, आपने 20% लिया है तो 20% of 5000 निकालेंगे, automatically it will come 1000. Okay, the total of legal reserve ratio and loans that will be given will be 4000. इसको भी आप कैसे निकाल सकते हैं, 5000 माइनस 1000, क्योंकि ये रिजर्व में गया, ये टोटल मनी क्रिएशन है, माइनस करेंगे 4000 का लोन जाएगा. दिस इज हाउ वी कैन टेक आउट द total amount of loans that is to be given. So two statements are there. Higher the legal reserve ratio, lower will be the credit creation. जितना ज्यादा ये higher होगा, ये 20% से 30% होगा, तो ये आपका जो मनी क्रिएशन होगा वो कम हो जाएगा. दिस इज व्हाट द आरबीआई यूज्ड टू डू. जब मनी सप्लाई ज्यादा इकोनॉमी के अंदर में इन्फ्लेशन है तो ये एलआरआर को आरबीआई जो है रिजर्व बैंक ऑफ इंडिया बढ़ा देती है, जिससे कि ये मनी क्रिएशन जो है कम हो सके. लेसर मनी शुड बी फ्लोइंग इनटू द इकोनॉमी. और अगर कहीं डिफ्लेशन की प्रॉब्लम है इकोनॉमी के अंदर तो इस एलआरआर को आरबीआई इज गोइंग टू रिड्यूस. ठीक है, अगर ये रिड्यूस कर देगी तो ऑटोमेटिकली नाउ मोर मनी विल बी क्रिएटेड बाय द कमर्शियल बैंक्स और ज्यादा फ्लो हो जाएगा मनी का इकोनॉमी के अंदर, विच विल इंक्रीज द डिमांड ऑफ द पीपल. यही डिफ्लेशन के समय में करा भी जाता है. क्लियर? सो दिस इज द one of the instrument that we have seen of the Reserve Bank of India, legal reserve ratio, and how the commercial banks used to create more and more deposits from the primary deposit, which is more than the primary deposit. You can see.